Well, it's the announcement we were all expecting to hear at some point. The Finnish Defence Forces will shift to using NATO-Standard calibres for its new small arms. More specifically, 5.56 by 45mm, 7.62 by 51mm, 9 by 19mm, and 12.7 by 99mm. It's unsurprising since Finland became a NATO member in April 2023. Now, while Finnish forces had very close cooperation with NATO members before it became a part of the alliance itself, this new membership translates to even closer cooperation, including the hosting of a forward land forces unit. So let's take a look at the Finnish announcement and all the reasons the country provides for its shift to NATO calibres. Right at the beginning of its official announcement, Finland says that the decision will, quote, improve, among other, the soldiers' operating capability, interoperability, and security of supply. The Finnish Defence Forces says that over the past years, likely since joining NATO, it has been examining the characteristics necessary for small arms in the future, including calibres. And while this again won't be surprising to anyone who knows their weapons, Finland lays out its plan like this. The new calibre for the soldier-specific weapon, the assault rifle, will be 5.56 by 45mm, which meets the requirements set by the threat and operational environment. The new calibres for the force-specific firearms will be 7.62 by 51mm and 12.7 by 99mm. And finally, the pistol calibre will continue to be 9 by 19mm. It's stated that the new calibres will be fielded progressively in conjunction with the small arms modernisation. Furthermore, the present small arms calibres, 7.62 by 39mm, 7.62 by 53R, and 12.7 by 108mm, will continue to be in service, but with no extension procurement. So be prepared for a very, very, very slow transition. But adding more detail than just NATO membership, Finland's Chief of Operations for the Army, Brigadier General Sami Antti Takamaa, offers these reasons for its calibre switch-up. He says that the decision was affected by, among other, capability requirements, soldiers' load, interoperability among allied nations, security of supply and availability of ammunition, as well as national production capacity. Getting into even more detail on capabilities and the technical side, it stated that in a Finnish environment, the firing distances for small arms are nearly always less than 200 meters and typically less than 100 meters. An assault rifle must be able to deliver effects up to 600 meters. And so the Finns say that the higher bullet velocity and flatter trajectory of the new calibre will increase the hitting probability, which is relevant when firing in an unspecified distance or to a moving target. They add that the smaller and faster 5.56 by 45mm bullet will more efficiently penetrate varying materials than a 7.62 by 39mm round at distances less than 200 meters. Additionally, less recoil, a flatter trajectory, and lower cartridge costs will make it easier to acquire shooting and marksmanship skills. The statement adds that when it comes to the bullet's gyroscopic stability, or ricochet tendency, there is no significant difference between the current caliber ammunition and that of the new one. Interestingly, it stated that the new caliber will reduce the combined mass of the firearm and ammunition, and thus the soldier's load in total, admitting that soldiers' loads have increased over the years due to, among other things, the fielding of night vision equipment, weapon-mounted special equipment, and new force protection kit. At present, the assault rifle and 2-day ammunition weighs up to around 8.9 kilograms. But by shifting to a lighter weapon and caliber of ammunition, they say it's possible to take off 3.5 kilograms. Not bad. On the logistics and supply chain side, the Finns say that the availability of the new caliber ammunition is considerably better under normal and exceptional circumstances than that of the 7.62 by 39mm, which is utilized on a very small scale in Europe. In comparison, nearly all alliance and partner nations use and stockpile the NATO-Standard ammunition, whose production capacity is also considerably higher in the West. At this point, it's worth mentioning that the 7.62 by 39mm is still somewhat popular in the Czech Republic and is produced in decent quantities by Czech firm STV Technologies. Indeed, one version of the CZ Bren 2 is chambered in this caliber. It's also notable that while many NATO forces have indeed standardized to 5.56 NATO, France's GIGN, an elite tactical unit, has chosen to use a variant of the CZ Bren 2 chambered in 7.62 by 39mm as its standard issue rifle. But getting back to the Finnish announcement, it stated that alongside better availability and reduced raw material need, the new cartridge will be less expensive to procure than its predecessor. Similarly, its logistic print will be smaller due to it being lighter and requiring less packaging space. Brigadier General Takama states, "The war in Ukraine has demonstrated that the consumption of small arm cartridges is high. They must be readily stockpiled and also available during wartime. This is why it is important that nationally and in the Nordic countries we sustain production capacity for the small arms calibers that we use. The same caliber as that of our allies ensures using the same caliber cartridges both in peacetime training exercises and under exceptional circumstances." One of the reasons Finland has stuck with its Soviet-era calibers for so long is its strategy of capturing and using various enemy weapons over time. Indeed, the Finnish RK-62 assault rifle is based on the AK-47, and thus uses the 7.62 by 39mm cartridge. Things have changed, and this caliber is less common in Russia, and so this has given Finland another reason to change. Indeed, 7.62 by 39mm was partly replaced in Soviet service by the 5.45 by 39mm cartridge, which was introduced with the new AK-74. The AK-74 and its 5.45 caliber continues to be in service with the modernized current-issue Russian Armed Forces AK-74M service rifle, as well as the AK-12 rifle. Moving up to the higher calibers, targets that are at a distance of over 200 meters are the main concern of force-specific firearms, designated marksman's rifles, machine guns, sniper rifles, and grenade launchers. The procurement of weapons in new calibers will last throughout the 2030s. And so, at this level, Finland is adopting the NATO-Standard 7.62 by 51mm to enable the penetration of target protections while firing at distances of several hundred meters. They say that the probability of striking a target with larger caliber ammunition is higher at longer distances compared to 5.56 ammunition. The Finnish Defence Forces says that its M10 sniper rifle fielded this year uses the 8.6mm caliber, but its Rifle System 23, which will be fielded from 2026, will use 7.62 by 51mm. They report that weapons have been extensively tested and their use case results have been good, with effective shooting distance of the weapons extending up to 1,400 meters. The Finnish Defence Forces already employ the 12.7mm heavy machine gun, and its effective firing distance is up to 2,000 meters. It was noted that at least some of the machine guns to be procured will use 7.62 by 51mm caliber cartridges, but all options will be examined. Machine guns enable effective force-level fire support at distances of hundreds of meters, while delivering effects to targets that require a number of hits. Finland's small arms modernization will also involve light machine guns, and on this topic, the Finnish Defence Forces have tested a number of unspecified alternatives, with decisions to be made during 2026 to 2028. But 2026 will mark the start of the field testing of the new 5.56mm caliber assault rifles ordered from Sako for testing purposes. The results of the field tests will be analyzed to determine the more specific requirements for the new assault rifle before additional procurements. The decision on the successor to the present assault rifle will be made later, and the plan is for the new assault rifle to be fielded at the turn of the decade. The obvious goal for the assault rifle of the future is to be as trustworthy as the present 7.62 assault rifle has been thus far. Brigadier General Takama says that the RK-62 is still a, quote, well-functioning and reliable basic weapon of a soldier and will remain in use for a long time. He adds that, at present, there are enough firearms and ammunition for the needs of normal and exceptional circumstances. The Finnish Defence Forces conclude their long statement by saying that the process of development and procurement of new weapons is a lengthy process based on the liability for military service. It states, "The planning thus involves considering alongside weapon characteristics, also among other things, ammunition, blank drill ammunition, optical sights, night vision equipment, magazines, training-related matters, example simulators and safety regulations, maintenance and servicing, such as gun care equipment, spare parts, inspection devices, and stockpiling." And so, from all of this, you can see how a change in caliber for any sizable military would lead to a logistical nightmare and great expense in testing, selecting, procuring, and fielding new weapons. But to all the Finns out there, and of course any other viewers with strong opinions, we'd love to hear what you think of the slow phase-out for new rifles in NATO-Standard calibers. Leave a comment and let us know.